Hello Professor, this is Monica Mandava and my project is creation of 360-degree panorama using image stitching. A panorama is a visual description of the surrounding scene from a 3D position. In conventional photography, only a small part of the environment can be captured. Normal small camera has complete view of 50 by 35 degrees, and whereas the human visual system has a field view of about 200 by 135 degrees, so it is not possible to describe the full surroundings with just a snapshot of a compact camera. Because of this, many techniques are used in creating panoramic images. Taking this need into consideration, we aim to make a project to get a full 360-degree videographic panorama using image stitching. And the basic step towards making a panorama is to take out many still pictures from singular point in the 3D world, which takes only certain parts of the environment. A main problem we can face during this process is the change of the lighting conditions from one viewing direction in the scene to another. Any real-time scene has a significant difference in the light intensity levels that the human eye perceives. A normal camera, for example, uses 8 bits per color channel to store brightness, which provides a 256 luminance levels. Whereas human eye is able to differentiate a contrast of 10,000 is to 1. Hence, the conventional stills are usually very bright or very dark in certain areas, and this results in some small detailed data to be lost. And the number of different steps between the brightest and darkest point is called dynamic range, and there are a number of methods for describing a broader dynamic range of a scene. And the images that use this techniques are called high dynamic range images. And in this project use we mainly follow three steps, that is corner detection, and the second one is the feature detection using homography, and the third is the stitching. In this project we first capture the frames, and the captured frames undergo corner detection. Then the process of feature detection called homography is carried out, and the last step is stitching, in which the processed images are stitched together to form one single image. And let us discuss about the first step, corner detection. It, in any image, corners are the important part in order to distinguish one object from the another. In this phase we use Harris corner detection, and this was used to note which similar objects are in which similar objects are in two different frames, and also to realize which part to be stitched. The respective eigenvalues of each frame are processed to compare the uniform region, the interest points, and the counters. And the second part in this is the feature detection using homography. Uh, Homography has many practical applications such as image registration, computation of camera motion, and all. And in this we use the image registration application of homography. In the image registration, we have in the image registration, uh, the first step is to extract the distinctive features from each image and to match these features, establishing a global correspondence, and then we'll estimate the geometric transformation between the images. And the approach that we use here is to detect features in all the images that are under consideration and then match features based on their local appearance. And this kind of approach is very much suitable when a large amount of motion or appearance change is expected, which is what we need in our project in stitching together of the panoramas. And the feature detectors, and the first kind of feature that you may notice in this or specific locations in the images such as mountain peaks, building corners, doorways, etc. And these kinds of localized features are often called key point features or control points, and these often describe the appearance of patches of pixels surrounding the point location, and that we can observe in this following picture. In this picture we can see the image pairs with three extracted patches, and as we can see, some patches can be localized with higher accuracy than others. And uh, in many and in many situations, detecting features at the finest stable scale possible may not be also appropriate. And after detecting the control points, the local appearance of feature changes in or the local appearance of features changes in orientation and scale, sometimes even undergoes affine deformations, and usually varies from image to image. And Uh, once the features and these descriptions have been extracted from two or more images, then the next step is to establish some preliminary feature matches between these images. The first is to select a matching strategy that determines which correspondence are passed on to the next stage for further processing and all. And the third step that we have in this is image stitching. In, in the image stitching, we, we obtain a full 360-degree uh, a uh, high resolution panoramic image, and in this multiple photographic images with overlapping fields of view are stitched. The frames that we get from the uniform coordinated system using homography or stitched together in the stage. And let us see the MATLAB code for this. You clear workspace. Pen just read open. And in this is the MATLAB code for the project. Here we load the input images in this part, and then we display the input images, and then we read the first image from the image set, then we initialize the features for it, and then here in this particular thing we use projective transform. And the reason we use projective transform here is because all the input images that we have taken here are taken from a very close distance from a camera. That's the reason we use projective transform. We can also use affine transform in this case if the images are taken from a distance from the camera. But since here the images are taken from very close to camera, here we use projective transform. And then here we iterate over next we iterate over the remaining image pairs, and then we store points and features, then we read that particular, and then we detect and extract features for that, and then we estimate the transformation between them, and then we compute the output limits for each transform, and then we calculate the maximum and minimum limits output limits, and then we calculate the width and height of the panorama, and then we initialize the panorama. And here we create a 2D spatial reference object defining the size of it, and then here we create the panorama. And let's test this code with the input with and let's run this code. This is the output of the panoramic view, this is the input. These are the 5 input images which are taken from 5 different views. And in the output we have the panoramic view of the scene here. And thus we have the panoramic view of the scene. This gives us the complete picture of the scene out there. Let's try with another set of inputs. Let's run this with a different set of input images. This is the output that we have here. This, as we can see, we have the input images uh, in 5 different views, and the output gives the complete scene right there. All the input images are stitched together, and this gives us the scene out there. Let's try with another set of input images. Here we give the another set of input images. These are the input images that we gave here, and the output we have here is this. This gives the complete picture of the scene there. Let's try with another complex set of input image that takes more information in the scene out there in complete different views, and let's see how it works for that. Okay, CLC open just for oops. Oh. See, this is as we can see here, the input images are given. The input images that we take in this test case are from different views, and these images are stitched together to give the complete picture of the scene there, and that we can observe clearly in the output image. Yeah, this gives the complete picture of the scene out there. And thank you.